Aloha and welcome to another mini spirit chat session. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 signs that your spirit guide is trying to communicate with you. Often we talk about how to communicate with your spirit guide, but do you ever wonder, is your spirit guide trying to communicate with you? Yes, most definitely they are. Many times you're just unaware of what signs and signals that they're giving you in order to try to get your attention. And if you're unaware of what signs and signals that they are, it can be very easily brushed off or made into something else, like, oh, that must have been this or it must have been that. But there are some pretty good common indicators when your spirit guide is trying to communicate with you. So we're going to go ahead and talk about number one. Number one is synchronistic numbers. I get asked about this a lot. And usually when you're seeing synchronistic numbers, and it doesn't necessarily have to be 1111, 1111, it can be like 2323, 777, something that is a synchronistic number pattern that you're seeing over and over again. That is a pretty clear indicator of two things: that your vibration is high and your spirit guide is usually giving you a signal that you're on the right path. Or that they're giving you a signal that they're there. You're in the flow, and they're kind of giving you a thumbs up with synchronistic numbers. These can be seen in many different ways. It doesn't always have to be on a clock. That's how many people see them, is on a clock. But it could be numbers just that you see everywhere randomly. Maybe it's a 777 you keep seeing, and you go to a store and something is priced at $7.77, and then you go to watch something on cable and it's on that channel, or you have to go to a house and that's the number on the house. It can be like random things like that, or it can be you repetitively wake up every night and look at the clock and it's 333 or something. So any type of synchronistic pattern such as that. The other thing is, it's very calculated how you see the numbers. Like, people just keep thinking, why do I just happen to keep looking at the clock? Or why do I just happen to keep noticing these numbers? You don't just happen to. There's a nudge that goes with it. A nudge to look at the clock, a nudge to wake you up, a nudge, you'll get a feeling or an urge, and that is a spirit guide nudging you to take a look or become aware of a number sequence at that time. And so you just are nicely following along with the direction if you're noticing synchronistic numbers. Another sign number 2, is whispering your name at night. Well, it's most of the time at night. Sometimes it could be during the daytime, but more often than not, it's while you're sleeping. Like I said, it can be in the daytime where you think somebody calls your name or something, but you'll be more aware of it while you're sleeping or while you're drifting to sleep, or it might wake you up from sleep. Often, if you sleep with somebody, you will think, oh, is it so-and-so? Like, did they whisper my name? And it'll kind of startle you. Or did somebody come in? Did they whisper my name? But whispering your name is a very common sign and signal that your spirit guide is trying to communicate with you. They're, again, letting you know that they're there. Number 3 is a random or poke or a touch at nighttime, usually. Again, a lot of things happen at night. The reason that they happen at night is because your vibration raises and the white noise of the day tends to calm down. And so that white noise allows spirits and spirit guides to come through easier with their vibration. And so many times you'll feel a poke or a touch, like someone will touch your back or your leg while you're sleeping, and that's another common sign that they're trying to get your attention. And number 4 is a random thought will pop into your head. It might be to stop in somewhere. It might be a random thought of like, oh, I should take this different route home. Or, oh, I should stop in and grab something here. And then you run into somebody you know. Um, if you're taking a different route home, it might be to avoid traffic, to avoid an accident. Um, a random thought that makes you change something that you're doing or shift a direction or whatever, that would be a very good indicator that your spirit guide is actually guiding you. Many people mistake that for like their own thought process. It usually doesn't work that way. Your thought process, like I've talked about before, is followed by a thought train or train of thoughts that ties together, that makes a story. A random thought that pops into your head in an instance such as this would definitely be spirit guide communication. The last sign that a spirit guide is trying to communicate with you is they actually often will send people, and they will send people to get you to shift something that you're doing, or to have a thought process that might change your perspective or something. They may say something to you to be like, oh, and have you have an aha moment. And weird enough, when they send people, it may even be such a thing as you might be getting fired. That's kind of common, that a lot of people get really frustrated with, obvious reasons, and they feel very flustered with, and they would never, my spirit guide would never do that. But when people come into your life that really offer you something, say something, or they take some type of action that gets you to shift direction of the path that you were already headed on, in like on your life path, that's usually a pretty good indicator that your spirit guide has sent them. And this path, or this change in direction, is something that I'm talking about, would be in a positive direction. If it's like going downhill and things got worse and worse for you, that would not be a clear spirit guide communication. That is not what I'm talking about. Spirit guides can and will intervene with people's help sometimes if you're being very stubborn and not listening to the other signs and signals that they're giving you, and you need to be shifting your path in order to have something better in the future come your way. Might be a better job, might be a better financial situation, might be better health. Maybe that job wasn't working so well for your health and you were stubborn, you were going to force yourself through it because of a paycheck, but then you were forced in another direction and your health got better. So if a person comes into your life that causes a life path shift, a direction, or an aha moment that helps you with some clarity and in a positive way, that would be another sign of your spirit guide communicating with you through another person, sending another person. So hopefully this is helpful, and I hope that you find it interesting, and pay attention to those 5 signs and signals. Pay attention to the whispers and the synchronistic numbers and the poking random thoughts, and be like, okay, I got it. I hear you. Thank you very much. Until next time, aloha.